got an extra Azure haul this month. Small but mighty. We're heading home. Huh? The bees are attacking us out here at our Azure pickup. My son is like, please don't let the bees come in the car. All right, so we got the last item in the car. Let's head home. It's hot, muggy, and we're getting attacked by baby bees. This has been the smallest Azure haul that I've ever picked up, but it's going to have a huge impact on winter 2025-2026. I'm going to show you what we grabbed. All right, there it is. So we actually picked up 3 packages of the yellow corn tortillas. We love these. We ate one completely and we came home, made lunch, and devoured it. I put these 2 in the freezer because it came frozen, so I'm gonna keep them frozen. 3 cans of the Think Pink salmon. We like this variety. I typically buy the 8-can ones, but I needed to save some doll hairs this month. This is the winner, you guys. 12 pounds of raw honey. This is the berry wildflower flavor. That's what will last us nearly a year. I predict that this honey is going to last us until about May. It usually does between July, August when I order it, and then spring we are almost out of it. But we'll see, and that's usually because I give away 3 pounds of it. This year I have no plans to give away 3 pounds, so hopefully it could get us all the way to July. And then of course, every summer we have to indulge in the red sweet cherries. I got 4 pounds in this container, 4 pound in this container, and I'm not gonna even lie. we've already eaten some. We gave my mother some, and we came home and ate a bunch. We love these. This is going to turn into juice that we mix with cranberry in the winter time, and also another canning. I'm thinking maybe jam, syrup. I haven't quite figured it out. Typically we eat sour cherries when we can, but we're not up north anymore, and sour cherries are not easy to find down south. So sweet cherries are easier. And I'm surprised Azure doesn't even sell the sour cherries. I usually turn that into like a bounce, which is a liquor. And I also turn that into like a syrup for ice creams and sweet tart, Pop Tarts. So we, for the last couple years, my son is cleaning his shoes.
I want them shiny clean.
So forgive the noise, but for the last couple of years we turned this into a juice. I'll show you that because we're going to get that going next. And then we typically make a cherry bounce, and everybody loved that, especially at Christmas time. But I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do bounce again this year, and if I'm going to turn this into jam or pie mix. I haven't quite figured it out, but we will be cracking into the cherries. Yes, come along. Let's get some work done. First thing we're going to do is sit down and get the pits out of these cherries. And it seemed like every time I pop 5 or 6 of them, here comes my son taking the cherries out the bowl. But we have 8 pounds to get through, so I'm not worried about not having enough. This little gadget I picked up, I believe from Amazon. If I find it, I'll link it below. But this little gadget is very easy because you can do 6 cherries at once, and there's not a lot of flesh that comes out. If you set it upright, it's perfect. So what we plan on doing first is cherry juice. In the wintertime, we pick up cranberries, and I can those also, so stay tuned for that. But we add cranberry juice with cherry juice. Certain company sells that right in the grocery store, and we have loved that flavor combo. So I'm going to use a 1 cup measuring spoon and just go ahead and scoop in a heaping cup of cherries per quart jar. I'm not going to flavor this or sweeten this cherry juice right now. Normally I do, but in this case, I'm going to wait. I will sweeten the cranberries And if I really want these sweetened later on, then I can sweeten it. But right now, we'll just go ahead and throw it in a jar and even these out as much as possible. Generally, about halfway up the jar is a perfect amount of cherry juice. Now we're going to fill it up with water all the way around. These will float on you, so feel free to debubble if you have to, but most of the time the water gets in and around the cherries very easily. Wipe the lids if you need to, add the rims and the rings, and then we're going to go ahead and get this into the canner. Have it such a pretty color. A lot of things that we can comes out dark green or odd colors, but it's nice to have bright red on the shelf. The more it sits on the shelf, the more it will darken. We typically don't crack these open until December, so give it a month and you should be fine. Now we're not going to let anything go to waste. Those are the pits, some blackberries that we have saved from our bush, and bits of cherries that were left over that I just cut off a spot or two. I'm going to add 4 cups of water and give all of that a boil to get the flavor out. I'm going to strain it into the strainer. While I was doing this, the house smelled like a candy shop for a moment. There's a 1/4 cup of lemon juice that we add right in before we start to add in Pomona's pectin. That is a calcium water that we add. That's special for Pomona's. You will not see that with other pectin packets. Put that on the stove and we're going to bring that to a boil. In the meantime, I'm going to add up to 2 cups of sugar. You can use honey if you would like, but I prefer not to heat honey. And then I'm going to add the pectin from that blue box where Pomona's is. We're going to go ahead and add the pectin to the sugar, give it a good mix. And when the actual syrup sugar comes to a boil, we'll stir in that sugar. Make sure you stir very vigorously because it can clump on you. And go ahead and let it boil for just 1 minute. Pull it off of the burner right away and get it jarred up. These are 12-ounce jars. I get asked a couple of times every time I show them. They are 12-ounce, made by Ball. I haven't seen them in years and years. Matter of fact, many of these jars come from my grandmother and her canning days. So I will have to say that these jars are at least from the 1990s or earlier. So nope, Ball doesn't make them anymore, but they are the perfect size for jam. I do have 2 small 8-ounce jars behind it. I will add any leftovers there so that we can munch on this jam right away. I stuck my finger in it and it is nice and hot, but it's so good. You can taste a little bit of the blackberry mixed with the cherry. It's a unique flavor. I really like it. So I'm going to get these 2 in the canner and get them sealed up. We'll enjoy this winter. Well, that's it, folks. We have preserved a ton of cherries. It was a total of 8 pounds. I have about 2 pounds in the refrigerator now to finish munching on. We froze a little bit, but then we end up eating it. So that didn't serve much difference. We preserved some cherry juice that we love to use in the wintertime. And of course, the cherry blackberry jam. I don't know what to call it. Blackberry, black cherry, blackberry. I don't know. All I know is delicious. So we have a little that wasn't enough for a full jar. So I just set this in the fridge last night, and so we are going to put this on some toast this morning and go ahead and enjoy. I hope you guys are getting out there and preserving what is readily available in your area right now. Thanks for dropping by, and I hope to see you guys soon here Sundays and Thursdays at Spoonful. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.